You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 418, starting a new spooky standalone adventure, Horror at Havel's Cross, recorded July 2022, posted October 2023. Goblin Brain Trust.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a dungeon master, he, him. Today, we are doing one of my favorite things at Total Party Kill. That's right, you may have heard me say that before, because sometimes I do it a lot. We are starting a new adventure. That's right, I can't stop starting new adventures. I have something wrong deep inside of me that compels me to start adventures, and thankfully I have friends who are powerless to stop me, and so they just go along with it. So I've recruited a group of 4 players to join us. We're going to be playing a level 2 adventure called Horror at Havel's Cross. Allow me to introduce our players, and they will introduce their characters, and then we'll jump into it. First up in my Zoom window, first up in my heart, sort of, Jason Snell.
You had me right until the sort of. Tony, admitting you have a problem is the first step, so I'm glad you did that.
Stuck at that first step for years now.
I am here, and my character is a level 2 blood hunter, which is an interesting class, human, and her name is Buffy. And yes,
you're the one who gets sued. Yeah. So you're a human blood hunter.
Yes.
You hunt blood.
The rights,
and your name is Buffy.
The rights of blood are key to Buffy's powers. There's in the ancient time. Well, there's too much. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. People, you don't have to give your whole backstory.
There's a first evil, and anyway, we'll get to it.
All right. Next up, a regular for Tuesday Night D&D, it's Aline Sims. Welcome back, Aline. You should have known better.
You can't keep me away. I'm playing Opal Grimsbane, a sorcerer, human sorcerer. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay.
Welcome. Join us.
No clue.
Yes.
Buffy also has a last name, but I'm not going to say it because that's where I draw the line.
Secrets.
Yeah.
It's probably Winters.
Yeah, that's where copyright law
legally distinct.
Opal's pronouns and mine are she, her.
For our listeners, this podcast does not count as legal advice. In fact, it almost counts as the opposite of legal advice. You may unlearn things. Next up, it's Monty Ashley. Hi, Monty.
Hi, Tony. My pronouns are he, him, and so are my characters. Osgood Emberleaf, a halfling paladin.
A dwarven bard.
Okay. I was like, what is the
a talking cat
reference acknowledged? Yeah. All right. And last but certainly not least, Kathy Campbell. Always a delight to have Kathy in your podcast.
Oh, that's so sweet. I am playing Davina, who is a variant Aasimar cleric, and both of our pronouns are also she, her.
So we have a lovely new group here, 4 brand new characters. This is also a small group, especially by Total Party Kill standards. Usually we have the dangerous thing where I let 5 people join a group and then one other person is like, can I please join the group? And then we have 6 people and it becomes unwieldy. And that's just on Tony, the podcast, let alone scheduling.
But Tony, how will I eat an entire dinner between turns?
Well, I think the answer is that we started earlier your time. Is that what we did?
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So welcome to your pre-dinner D&D. For those for
one of those D's stands for dinner, Tony.
For dinner, yes. Dinner and dragons. All right. So, starting an adventure, always fun, definitely not a tricky thing to do. So, our adventure today is going to start at a tavern. This is the Spring Shoot Tavern. All of you have been recently acquainted. You've come together as adventurers are wont to do because, it's a dangerous world out there and it's, you don't want to go through it alone. And so you've all been assembled. And I think in particular, Monty, your character Osgood had a lead on a possible job. So I don't know if any of you have been to the Spring Shoot Tavern before, but if you have, one of the things you would know about it right away is that this is pretty much your standard tavern, lots of tables. There's a bar over on one side. There's people drinking. Some people might be reading off in a corner, people having a good time. But everything is kind of scaled down about 75%. This is a tavern that caters primarily to halflings and gnomes, and everything is basically at their scale. So those of you that are perhaps of the taller species, that certainly you fit in here, but it's probably a little cramped. I imagine that the ceiling is probably only six feet above the floor. I was like, that's where ceilings are. Yep, above the floor. 6 feet from ceiling to floor. So some of you might need to stoop a little bit, or at least it would be a little bit cramped. But other than the diminutive size, it is a warm, cheery place. There's some food, there's singing and dancing. People are having a lovely time. It seems to just be a nice little community in here for people to find entertainment or a good meal or a good drink. Have people been to the Spring Shoot Tavern before? Are people a little out of their element in a tavern that is sized for halflings or gnomes? How's that feel?
I think Osgood has probably been here before.
Mm-hmm.
And Buffy
all the time.
Buffy is very kind of petite, so it's not a big deal to her.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Davina is also on the shorter side of Asimar's, which means that even though she's 5 foot, she's used to feeling short among everyone else, and so likes hanging out with the shorter people, so she gets to feel tall.
Okay, excellent. And Opal Grimsbane, I forget what manner of creature you are.
Human. So
Human.
But also interestingly, on the shorter side. So
all of you chose to play shorter characters. Yeah. No centaurs or Goliaths wedging their way into this tavern. All right. Well, Osgood has basically told you to meet here because Osgood has a lead on a potential job. And Osgood, you basically, I think, I don't know if you got a direct letter or if it was more of a bulletin board posting, but you have arranged a meeting with a professor by the name of Winsome Landy.
Winsome.
Mm-hmm. Winsome.
Okay.
Okay. Dramatic pause.
Just wanted to verify.
Yep. So unless there is anything else you wish to accomplish, I'm willing to jump ahead to you have located your group and you have located Winsome Landy in the Spring Shoot Tavern. Starting adventures is fun.
Yeah.
This is Winsome Landy, Professor Winsome. This is the people I found.
Osgood, was it? Sorry, I was caught up in my studies. She moves a very large pile of books off of the tavern table and puts it into a heavy-looking knapsack by her feet. I just, I get so absorbed in these things. Thank you for coming. Is this all of you?
Yes. This is everybody this is everybody that this is everybody. Yes.
Yes. Well, as Osgood has no doubt told you, I am Professor Winsome Landy, scholar of archaeology, and I am in need of some adventurers. That's all of you,
That's
right?
us.
All of you?
Yes.
Even you?
Yeah.
You? Okay. We don't do names? Is that like a business confidentiality thing?
We do them.
Oh, because I told you my
name,
and you haven't said anything yet.
Well, I'm Osgood, as you know. This is Buffy. This is Opal, and this is Davina. This is Davina.
Yeah, Davina.
Okay, well, very excited to be making your acquaintances. I am in need of a group, as I mentioned, specifically to help me kind of this kind of escort mission. You would accompany me up to the dig site that my students have been working on, and then we would return from the dig site to civilization with an important artifact. That's the job. Make sense?
I think we have two basic questions.
Yes.
Why do you need an escort, and how much would you be paying, please?
Oh, professional. Yes, very smart. Well, it is in an area of somewhat rough countryside. There have been known to be issues with goblins and bandits and whatnot. And, you know, my students have recovered this artifact that is apparently of immense cultural importance. And so it would be a shame if it were to get lost in transit. So that's where you all come in. Yes.
Who's this artifact thingy? Whose was it when it was before it was yours? Whose was it before?
Yes. Well, that is a question that I hope to answer based on further study once we have the item and other relics from the site back in my my office in the the safety of academia.
Can you tell us more about it?
I'll be honest, I don't know a ton. My students sent word via a scroll of sending that they had something very interesting and that they wanted to get it to me as quickly as possible. This is very unusual. They really only supposed to use that scroll in an emergency. And so, yes, so that's when I put up the job posting and recruited all of you, dashing whatever you are.
Adventurers.
Yes. Is that is the preferred term in your field of study, occupation?
Yes. Will we
in polite
be
company,
expected?
In polite company, that's the term we would use.
Will we be expected to do any digging?
No, I assure you, all of the digging is the work of my students. I would never rob them of that experience. Your stipend would not cover digging. No digging necessary. Is that okay?
Did you
want to dig?
Oh, no. I don't want to get my hands dirty. We're fine.
Yes. Understood. Yes. She pulls out a kind of heavy looking coin pouch and places it on the table. It makes a decent sized kind of jingle jangle noise. And she says, I believe the standard offer is 500 gold pieces.
A piece?
In total. I notice your choice to bring 4 adventurers will lead to a better payday for all of you, assuming there are no issues. Any questions?
We get the money now, right?
Is that standard?
Yes, that's definitely standard.
Yeah, totally.
Osgood, please roll whether that. I don't know if that's diplomacy or bluffing, but please roll.
Well, this is D&D, so we don't have diplomacy or bluffing as a skill. I'm going to go with persuasion.
Yeah, sorry. I'm still stuck in 4th edition skills challenges, even though I've been playing 5th edition for 10 years.
I rolled a 14.
Professor Winsome Landy seems a little out of her element here. And especially, for example, putting the small sack of money on the table is not a key negotiating strategy. And so she just nods and slides the bag of the little pouch, leather pouch full of gold coins in your direction, Osgood. Very good. It's best if I'm not handling that kind of thing. Osgood, have you ever had 500 gold pieces in your life?
No.
Have you ever had 1/4 of the 500 gold pieces you're entitled to in your life?
Barely, yes.
Okay. I don't know if you are all happy with Osgood holding on to the money for now, or if this is the kind of party that has to fight about money right from the get-go.
I think we'll fight about money later.
Oh,
it's not polite to fight about money in front of our client.
Very good. Where was I? Yes, the dig site. It is several days travel from here. There's kind of a roadhouse that we will stay at that is within a couple hours of the dig site itself. It's kind of our last stop on the edge of civilization before we head into the wilderness.
And And you'll be covering those rooms at our last stop.
Is that standard? I guess so.
Yeah, it's travel expenses, room and board, housing. Yeah.
Fascinating business opportunity you people are engaging in. Maybe I should. No one has written a book about any of this yet, have they?
Many, yes.
Oh.
They're very popular.
Oh.
Stories of heroic actions and such. People really like reading that.
Interesting. I have been so focused on the work of civilizations long since dead. Imagine tales of now. Wild.
Yeah, a bit more of a page turner.
I teach their own. I'll look into that later, perhaps, or maybe I can assign one of my students to do that. Anything else I can tell you about our destination or what we will be doing? Hopefully, it'll all be uneventful, and that will just be a good payday for you. And I'll just be back studying, writing my grant applications, and we'll never meet again.
Okay.
No offense. I don't like the woods.
No, we would be more than happy to go get your thingy and bring it back here and be done.
Okay.
Yep. Let's go.
Shall we go?
Yep.
All right. And so you set out. You're traveling on foot with Professor Winsome Landy. You have no horses, but also no luggage. So it kind of works out. Anything else you want to do before you leave civilization? Montage of you walking across fields, through the forest, maybe up a relatively gentle rolling hill, and then another forest. And then there's 20 minutes of swamp, not in the montage, but total in the walk. So it only gets a minute in the or a second in the montage of swamp, but you're holding all your backpacks above you as you trudge through the mud. But Professor Winsome Landy talks the whole way about her study of ancient civilizations and all of the things that she wants to learn about things and her hopes and dreams for what this artifact might be. And it is up to you whether you retain any of that information whatsoever. She does not stop talking the whole time.
Well, do we get some sense of what civilization is being dug into?
Yes. It sounds like her students have been working on this dig site for several weeks, and that it is a civilization. It's an ancient civilization of elves, and that specifically the site that her students are excavating seemed to be some kind of site of religious significance, and that there was some kind of temple there. And it seemed to, I think that's probably about as far as she has, but very excited in terms of what the implications of that artifacts recovered from that temple would mean, and what, because when you understand what a people worship, that tells you what their society values, and that is how we truly understand people Osgood, is by knowing what they value. Like, you value 500 gold pieces, and I
value courage.
Courage is good also. I value getting published. I really need to get published. But yes. All right. Several days of travel montage through the mud and the dirt and the grass and the woods and the outside. And you think you are getting pretty close, according to Professor Winsome Landy, to the roadhouse that will be your kind of last stop before reaching the dig site. You've been told that the name of the inn is Havel's Cross. Havel's *S Cross. Don't pay attention to the name of the title or anything like that.
Wait a minute.
And it is Professor Winsome Landy, she's a halfling, she's a scientist, and she does not move as fast as some creatures, and so it takes a little while. It takes a little longer than expected each day to get where you think you're going. So it's actually just after nightfall as you are approaching the site of the inn, the roadhouse, Havel's Crossing, that Winsome Landy had told you about. And as you kind of come around the bend in the road and see the inn in the distance, you even all at the tender young age of level 2 get a sense that something is wrong. The inn is ahead of you. It's a multi-story structure, kind of stone on the first floor, wooden structure up above, but there's not any lights on inside it, and there doesn't look like there's really kind of any activity. It seems eerily kind of quiet. It looks like there's something possibly lying in the road in front of the building ahead of you.
Well, Buffy's always on the lookout for fae, fiends, and the undead, because that's kind of her thing. So she is going to try to look around and see if she sees any signs of fae, fiends, or undead. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I got advantage on that one. So, and that's an 18.
All right, you are studying the area around Havel's Cross very carefully, Buffy, with your human eyes, and you recognize yeah, well, that's what you got, right?
Two of them.
Yep. Show off. And there
Humble
appears,
brag.
Yeah. It looks like there's a dead animal, possibly a horse, lying in the road in front of the door to the tavern. But you don't see any other signs of life or movement from outside on the road,
or
here.
Traces of undead activity.
Yeah.
All right. Buffy likes to just, be clear about that.
Yeah.
I think it's a horse.
It's in the doorway?
No, it's lying on the road in front of the door.
Okay.
Is it very obviously dead?
I would say it's pretty obviously dead.
Okay.
Do we have some idea of the cause of death, or is it?
Would you like to move forward and inspect the horse corpse? That is a hard word to say. Horse corpse.
Horse
Corpse.
A horse is a corpse of corpse of
Of
corpse.
course. Unless of
Oh,
course,
no.
a corpse is a horse.
No.
Oh no!
I'm gonna go up and
So much horse murder.
Is it a medicine check?
Yeah.
Or,
All right. Davina heads down the path, approaches the horse corpse. The horse corpse does not attack Davina. Davina rolls a medicine check. Professor Winsome Lundy says, "Is this usual? Do you work with a lot of dead horses in this line of work?"
No.
Make no
this
assumptions.
is not usual.
No. Well, it's usual in the sense that there's usually problems when you're an adventurer, but it's not normal for this town. This is something strange is going on here.
In our neighborhood.
Who are you gonna call?
Us.
I've already paid you.
Us.
Are you renegotiating? Because I have no more money. Davina, do you roll medicine?
Yes, 14.
All right, you are studying the horse. You're looking at the horse. The horse is clearly. I'm really going to try and get past this horse as quickly as we can for this reason. The horse is clearly dead. It has been dead for a while, and it appears to be partially eaten.
Ew.
And I'll tell you, 14 is pretty good for a level 2 adventure. The bite marks on the horse, they are not. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'm going to tell you what they're not. They are not wolves or canine bite marks. They seem possibly of more like a humanoid type jaw.
Ooh.
There's some claw marks too. Here, yeah, I'll throw that in. Bites and claws.
Well, I guess we should go see if anybody's home at this inn, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will go to the front door and knock proudly. Pound, 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 pound.
All right. You pound on the door. The door was not latched, and I think it really only takes 1.5 pounds before the door swings open, and a sight of carnage and devastation is viewable beyond. Inside, it looks like many human remains kind of scattered around the main room of Havel's Cross. And give me a quick perception check, Osgood.
Okay. That is a 9.
You don't notice anything else.
Well, I do want to use divine sense.
Oh, okay.
To detect good and evil. Until the end of my next turn, I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Good news, none of that is available to you, or none of that lights up on your divine sense.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, that's so.
These are just dead people.
Mm-hmm. Just dead people. So
It
you're
is
standing in the
battle.
doorway looking in. Tables have been knocked over. There's a lot of blood that's pooled on the floor. There's beer and food that's been knocked around. It's pretty gruesome.
We should go in.
Yep.
Let's
go.
I go in.
Fine.
I go in too.
Buffy, give me a quick perception check.
13.
You are aware of kind of a rustling sound, possibly movement coming from behind the bar on the far side of the room from you.
Can we assume that Professor Landy will be sticking close?
Yes.
Do we need-
Let me know what I should or shouldn't do. Is it safe here by the horse, or is this the worst place to be?
I think you should stay close to us because we don't know what's going on yet.
Excellent.
We're here
So
to protect you.
Yeah, don't be on
she-
your own.
She
unless
basically
we tell you differently.
is looking at Opal and like walks into Davina. Excellent.
I
Sure, Davina left that.
I get the attention
Mhm.
of Osgood and Opal and Davina if she's in the doorway there, and gesture to behind the bar.
I draw my rapier and go towards the bar.
And I'm gonna go this way, off sort of. Maybe we're gonna sort of flank this, and I'm gonna get my crossbow out.
All right. Opal and Davina, I'll give you a chance to do, or kind of position yourself or describe what you're doing too, if you want. As Osgood makes a beeline for the bar. Buffy kind of takes up a sniper's position in a corner. What would you like to do?
I also want to be back here because I want to be ranged,
Mhm.
but ready. Ranged,
Okay.
but ready.
You're all happy where you are, Davina? You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Osgood, you head over to the bar. It looks like you might poke your head around the bar. And behind the bar, there are two goblins. They appear to be basically trying to be quiet while also using a crude-looking crowbar to pry open a lockbox. And I think they probably heard you bang on the door and hid back here. And they look up and see you.
I raise my shield and my rapier above it, and I say, "What?
What's that?
I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. Who are you?"
Go away. This is ours, says the first goblin. Get lost, says the second goblin.
The bar is yours, or are you stealing from it?
I don't have to answer your questions.
Did you kill that horse?
I didn't kill no horses.
Ah, so you do answer questions.
Are you afraid? Are you afraid of ghosts?
A third goblin pokes his head into the room from coming out of a back room, sees what's going on here, and panics and fires a crossbow bolt at Osgood.
Oh, really?
Yes. I think this is probably a roll initiative situation. What do you all think?
Oh, it's on now.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I was being nice, but
13 for the goblins.
looks like I'm gonna have to kill me some goblins.
So I'm gonna have this goblin, basically the one goblin that came in here that was basically panicked and fired off a crossbow bolt. He's gonna do that with disadvantage because I think he almost didn't need to shoot the crossbow, but he definitely pointed it in your direction. Osgood. Wow. Strong start. I have rolled a critical success and a critical fail, a 20 and a 1 on my first roll of the evening. So
the
Osgood,
one will miss.
The 1 plus 4 to hit is a 5. Hit, does not even go near you. It bounces off the ceiling and ricochets kind of in the direction of your shield. Let's see here. Do we have an order here? It looks like Opal Crimsbane is first. Davina, Osgood, Team Goblin.
Oh.
Jason, do you have one for Buffy?
I do. It was a 12. So same thing as a 0, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Opal Grimsbane, are you ready to lead us off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, Lean. Yeah, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
All right. I think I'm gonna start out just with my crossbow until we know what's happening. Save my spells for later, and I'm gonna aim at Mr. or Ms. or Mix trigger happy over there.
Mhm. Yeah, the one
how's
who
a
not
nine?
exercising basic crossbow safety.
Yeah. How's a 9 to hit?
A 9 does not hit a
Not
goblin.
great. Yeah.
Goblins,
Yeah.
we're kind of starting towards the bottom of the food pyramid here at level 2, but they do have hide armor and just adorable little shields that like cover slightly more than their arm. It's like a frisbee sized shield. Yeah.
I should have done something different. Oh well, I know what I'm doing my next turn, so it'll
All
take me
right.
less time. We're good.
Davina.
All right. Well, I'm going to pull an opal, I guess, and also use the crossbow, going for the goblin that shot at Osgood. 16.
16 will definitely hit a goblin.
All right. Oh, a D8. Which one's, hold on. 3.
3 damage. That goblin takes a crossbow bolt in the side and looks real upset about this whole situation. I was trying to shoot you.
Well, you suck, so it's fine. Next.
All right, Osgood. There are a bunch of goblins in front of you.
Okay, well, I am going to stride forward, bonus action Thunderous Smite, and attack this guy with a rapier.
Okay.
8.
8 does not hit a goblin. Strong rolls for first fight of the adventure.
That's fine. Then
It's
I'll
okay.
say,
Everyone's got backup characters ready to go. You can all play these goblins who might suddenly come into a bunch of money, and that could get them into trouble.
I will look at him over my shield and say, "You're going to die."
I don't like that. Why do I keep talking to you? All right, Osgood. I believe it is Team Goblin at 13 in the initiative order. The goblins all kind of in unison say, "Help! Help! Help!" And you hear kind of some movement and noise coming from the room, the back room of the bar to the north of where you are. These goblins do not like they feel like they're a little kind of trapped back here with Osgood, and they're going to strangely kind of like climb over the bar, scamper across the room, and try and hide behind some tables. And as they go, they're going to fire some crossbow shots at Buffy and Opal. So Buffy, I have rolled a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
And Opal, I have rolled a 23 to hit.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
Each of you takes a crossbow bolt in the leg for 5 piercing damage, which at level 2 probably doesn't feel great.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So I will say that these goblins have basically they have attempted to hide themselves in some of the wreckage of the bar and may be hard to hit later. The goblin that is engaged with Osgood pulls out like a really rusty kind of bent looking scimitar and swings it at you, Osgood. And I am rolling really well. This may be a start adventure. 21 to hit.
That will hit.
5 slashing damage as it gets you pretty cuts you right in the arm. It like opens it up like too much. All right. Buffy, you are next. Do you want to hunt blood? Because there's blood everywhere. You have found it.
There is.
You are now
there
you're not just a blood hunter, you're a blood finder.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood around.
A lot of blood.
I'm going to if I go over here, do you think I can pick out, like, if I'm standing right in front of him, I can pick out one of these jerks and just get him?
Yeah, I think they would probably be hard to hit from a distance due to the wreckage they're hiding behind. But if you just go over there, it's like you just like, hey, there you are, and you could hit them.
Oh, I have to do a concentration save, by the way, because of my smite that I foolishly loaded up.
All right. Buffy charges across the bar room, knocking corpses and shattered furniture left and right, and finds 2 goblins hiding in the wreckage.
13 to hit.
A 13 does not hit a goblin.
Well, that's too bad. Well, then I don't hit a goblin.
All right. There is.
I thought we were bringing our loaded dice tonight. What happened?
I don't.
I'm doing great. So I just want to like put that out there that I'm feeling really disappointed with the rest of my party right now.
Emerging from the back room is a new addition to the fight, as if things couldn't get more out of control. A kind of strange humanoid, reddish skin, pointy ears, makeshift armor, and rusty looking weapons. This appears to be a hobgoblin, which are sometimes known to lead gangs of goblins. And he kind of marches into the room, sneers, and looks around at all of these and says, "This is our turf." And the hobgoblin is going to pull out a longbow and fire a shot at Buffy.
Rude.
20 to hit.
Yeah.
5 piercing damage as an arrow catches you in the back.
Ouch.
Like right in a shoulder blade. Ugh.
I'm going to give this place a very bad review on Yelp, which is telling a dog.
Is Yelp your last word? All right, adventurers. I made it real dramatic and challenging. Here's where you turn it all around with your precision plan and teamwork and intentions. Starting with Opal Shane, followed by Davina, followed by Osgood.
Okay, have we done damage to any of these?
One goblin has got nicked by a crossbow bolt. It is the one over here.
Okay, and I probably can't see that one at all, right?
You know that there's a goblin hiding over there. You would have disadvantage with a ranged attack. You would not if you ran over and clonked him on the head.
All right, I think I'm gonna glare at the goblin right next to Osgood.
Free action.
Yep. And
what are you glaring at me at? I was here first.
As I glare
at somebody else.
Like, look, you attacked us. We just walked in and you attacked us. We didn't do anything to you. And as I'm talking and glaring, just a searing headache comes on this goblin.
Oh no. His brain.
He needs to make a DC, let's see, a DC 14 intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw.
Nice.
Intelligence.
Let me just check. All right.
-6. Interesting.
No, strangely, neither plus or minus for their intelligence. I rolled a 12. I think that is lower than the number you said I had to get, which I have already forgotten.
Yeah.
All right. So something bad happens to that goblin's brain, I take it?
Yeah. So this is Mind Sliver, and he's going to take it's only 4 points of damage, but also has to subtract 1d4 from, I rolled a 4 on that. So from their next saving throw before the end of my next turn, 4 points of damage and 4 points reduction from whatever they roll from their next saving roll.
Okay.
Hint, probably going to be this again because this is a cantrip.
So you're attacking the goblin or the hobgoblin?
The goblin.
Okay. Goblin.
Oh, because it's already
just because I figure Osgood will wail on it and we can at least get one thing down.
Osgood, you notice like a little trickle of blood kind of coming out of his big pointy green goblin ear.
What color is the blood?
I think goblin blood is red.
All right. That's fine.
Very Christmassy.
Davina.
I am not sure how this works, so I'm going to
love it.
Help. Great, go me. So I have Channel Divinity Twilight Sanctuary.
Oh,
So
I love that
as
board
an-
game.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
was gonna
is that
say, it
the
was
one
my
favorite
where
pony.
the werewolves
My
and the
favorite pony.
vampires
See,
fight?
Alina and I are on the
Mm.
same page. It's my favorite My Little Pony as well. So as an action, you present your holy symbol and a sphere of twilight emanates from you. The sphere is centered and has a 30-foot radius and is filled with dim light. And the sphere moves with me and it lasts for 1 minute or until you are incapacitated or die. Whenever a creature, including you, ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant that creature either temporary hit points equal to 1d6
Ooh.
plus your cleric level or end one effect on it, causing it to be charmed or frightened. Do I roll anything? Like if I want to, so I'm doing, I've got a sphere around me.
I'm just going to put a little sphere around you. That's all.
Okay.
Sphere.
I've got my holy symbol, which is a peace sign. And I say good vibes only. And that's all I do, right? Because everyone else on their next turn has the option for temporary hit points. Is that right?
I believe so. Assuming they end their turn in your I've made it slightly more pale purple. The purple twilight sphere of good vibes around you, which in this tavern, I think your colleagues would need to very intentionally find a place to hide from it. We'll just assume that twilight emanates and kind of fills the whole room. So players who end their turn in that twilight will gain temporary hit points. So at the end of everyone's turn, who gets that? Have a D6 ready. Kathy, because you're going to be rolling a D6 and adding 2. Is that what what it will be? You said it was a D6 plus 2.
Yes.
And all you have to do to get that, players, is end your turn there. Remember that temporary hit points do not stack, so you can if you gain 6 temporary hit points and you had 2, you now have 6. You don't have 8. So you just
Can you go up to 6, or it's whatever my roll is the roll for?
Yeah, you wouldn't lose any, but
Okay.
Yeah. If they had 4 and you rolled a 2, they have 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
But if they have a 4 and I rolled a 6, do they have 6?
They have 6.
Okay.
Yeah. They can only be helped, but they won't get it. They won't have 10. So
okay.
That's how math works.
Is it?
That was a very party friendly trick.
Yes.
Says the person whose character is bloodied and with 2 people next to them and doesn't have a turn until after they go.
Yep.
So
it is challenging. You do have to live until the end of your turn.
So no pressure.
See? Yeah.
Yep. Jason, you're a blood hunter. You're bloodied. You found it.
Yeah.
Success.
Does this spell work if he's unconscious? Is this guaranteed to wake him back up?
I don't know if temporary hit points wake you back up.
I don't think so.
That's a good point. All right.
I think if Buffy is down, she's down.
Yeah. All right.
Because it's not a concentration spell, so I can move over and do healing hands or whatever.
I have consulted the internet, as is always a great thing to do as a dungeon master, and the internet feels strongly that you can gain temporary hit points while unconscious. They just don't help you.
Oh, nice.
Well, all right.
Yeah. So,
but you'll have them when you wake up.
You'll have them when you wake up. It will theoretically help you from getting completely murdered if you are lying there unconscious.
Great.
But yeah.
Leave a beautiful corpse, I say.
Yep. A corpse full of temporary hit points. Osgood, I think everyone is looking at you to save the day.
Rapier to the face is what I'm thinking. A 19.
19 will hit a goblin.
Nice.
Okay, nice. So here's what's happening.
Oh,
first of all, there's the.
I'll remind you, this goblin already has brain damage.
Well, thunderous smite doesn't care. It says the next time I hit somebody. So here we go.
Yep.
First of all, the rapier will do 4 points of piercing damage.
Yep.
Secondly, the thunderous smite will do. Interesting. My weapon rings with thunder that is audible within 300 feet of me, so it probably sounds pretty cool in this small room.
Yeah, Twilight room.
It does 5 points of thunder damage, and he must now succeed on a strength saving throw.
What if you murdered him?
Then he fails it.
Then he fails.
then he is thrown 10 feet away from me and knocked prone anyway. So he's just going to flop into that hobgoblin and slide down.
Nice.
The hobgoblin kind of cradles him in his arm, his head completely caved in by your thunderous smite, and says, Grick, we just got to know you. All right. Anything else? Osgood?
I look at the hobgoblin and just eyes blood red say, "You're next."
The hobgoblin says, "I don't know about that. It is the goblin's turn next."
Hold on real quick. Osgood has 4 temporary hit points.
Oh, hey, nice.
Good.
Thanks.
Great choice.
So what, D6 plus 2?
Yeah.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I rolled a 2. And 2 plus 2 is 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basic math.
You made your intelligence save.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It took entirely too much energy to figure that out, but we're good. We're not talking about me. Let's talk about the goblins.
The side door of Havel's Cross swings open, and 3 more goblins enter the fray. They have used their turn to join the fight.
Be kidding me.
The 2 two goblins who think, we've got Buffy the Blood Hunter kind of right where we want her here, are going to stab at you with scimitars. I have rolled a 3 plus 4 is 7, and a wow. Yes. Here's my numbers evening out. A 4 plus 4 is 8. Does a 7 or an 8 hit a level 2 Blood Hunter?
No.
All right. Buffy, you are alive.
Hooray!
Great. Buffy is going to attack, let's say, the one here sort of to the west.
I will mention the one to the east has already been attacked, if it matters. It's not bloodied, but it took a crossbow bolt. I don't know if you have...
Sure. Well, then we'll attack the one that's injured is the one that we're gonna try to get rid of now.
Yeah.
Glaive to the face.
Glaive.
It's only a 13 though.
You know that the goblin armor class is a little bit higher than that.
I rolled badly again.
Oh.
And that is kind of all I can do except take temporary hit points.
Yeah, right. I was like, except let me roll. 3.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I used all my good rolls, apparently.
The hobgoblin kind of gingerly lays Grick's fallen body down behind the bar next to probably the corpse of the bartender and charges Osgood and says, "This is for Grick!" An old rusty looking longsword is coming toward your face, Osgood. I have rolled a 19. That's pretty good. 18 is pretty good. 21 total to hit.
That will hit.
All right, 6 slashing damage as the hobgoblin brings the longsword crashing down in the direction of your shoulder.
Oh, good thing I had those 4 temporary hit points. That helped a lot.
I feel like you're really diminishing the devastation of the hobgoblin here with your temporary hit points.
Sorry, not sorry.
Opal Grimsbane, you are next.
Yeah. Is there somewhere where I could move to see? It doesn't say I have to see them well, but where I could see the already injured goblin.
Yeah, I would say that they have abandoned their hiding now that they've been confronted by Buffy. So there, okay. I would say you can see all the goblins in the room. They had back when there were only like 3 of them. They were like, we're gonna hide in the trash and avoid all of you. Now that they think that they are evenly matched with you, they're not hiding anymore.
So I'm gonna do the mind sliver on them now. So yeah, DC, the one to the southeast.
All right,
Buffy.
Intelligence check.
DC 14.
6 is pretty far below 14.
Okay, so my D6, it's only 2.
Well, that goblin.
So that's 2 points of damage.
Buffy, a goblin stares at you with kind of wild eyes as blood trickles out of both of its ears, yet somehow it is still standing, looking at you very intensely.
And that's 1 point less that they get to their next saving throw.
Got it.
I think I'm also going to... Okay, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my sorcery points to attack with. All right, so I'm going to close my eyes and concentrate, and from like my outstretched palms, there's a beam of crackling blue energy that lances out toward that goblin that is now bloodied. I need to make a ranged spell attack and hopefully hit, for the love of Pete.
Come on, Pete.
Do that now. Yeah, Pete's not been. Oh, it was a 10. 10 doesn't hit.
Yeah,
all right.
Your crackling energy bounces off of like a broken lantern and kind of zip-zaps around the room, ricocheting off several things.
Well, that was going to be cool, and
that
it was going to do a lot of damage.
That was where everything came together, and instead, it's Davina's turn to save you all from 6 goblins and a hobgoblin that are murdering you. Opal, I don't know if you were injured, but you would actually, doesn't matter if you're injured or not. You get temporary hit points at the end of your turn.
Yeah, you still get them anyways. 3. You're welcome. I don't think I can get to Buffy without like provoking an opportunity attack, right?
You can't.
Actually,
you
you're
can.
within 5, so you are right. You're right next to a goblin, right?
I don't think you would engage with that goblin. Davina, you totally could.
Oh,
I'll tell you.
So I could come over and tap Buffy.
Totally.
And then come back to my spot.
Yeah, I'll allow it. We'll say that you like went doot tapped.
No, she's already within range of the goblin. She just
there's like stuff there on the corner, so I don't think that goblin had engaged with you. So.
All right.
So I'm going to
like lay on hands or something.
So I have healing hands, but it only restores 2 hit points.
That might be more of a get somebody up from unconscious than a.
Yeah. Anything else you could say that for when I'm down next turn. Do you have something you can attack these people with?
I mean, yeah, I could do. My mace isn't super great, but I could use the crossbow for the hobgoblin. But I wanted.
Do you have a spell? Do you have a ranged attack? Do you have an area spell that'll hit a bunch of them because they're all clustered together? Anything?
How do our characters work? A level 2 experience.
Yeah, it is.
Seriously. I've got, let's see. So I can't do another channel divinity. I've got Eyes of Night, so we can see everybody.
You can see them great.
Nope.
Yeah.
You don't need to see them more.
Blessing. I can give someone advantage. Fairy Fire. I can do a spell. Nope.
Just light
only
show
does advantage. Yeah. And another light show. And sleep.
I'm looking at your character sheet.
Yeah,
sleep might be
your best thing that you've got going that you can do.
Put some of these guys to sleep.
I gotta roll 5d8, so let me get dice by peak out.
So you're a cleric. You're gonna use sleep. Basically, the way sleep is, you're going to roll a bunch of d8s to determine how many hit points worth of creatures fall asleep. This is like your key thing that you can do, Kathy.
Yes,
and you choose a point within a 20 feet area within 90 feet of you. You just point at which goblins you want to fall asleep, and depending on how high you roll, hopefully several goblins will fall asleep.
And then they sleep until we hit them again.
Yes.
Right. All right, I'm going to roll 5d8s. And do I add it together?
That's how it works. Roll a d8 5 times. Keep adding, or roll it.
Okay, so 27.
All right, I will tell you that 27 is 3 goblins. So I'm just gonna do, unless you wanted it to be different ones, the ones that just walked into the bar.
Nope, that sounds perfect.
All right. Those 3 goblins are looking around, taking in the whole situation, and they all just conk over.
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
You just removed 3 people from the battle. Now, they are, I believe, magically asleep for, is it an hour or some number of minutes?
Sleep for
1
hour.
minute.
Oh, duration 1 minute. Yes.
So 1
I was
minute.
looking in the words.
But they are extremely so only a minute, not an hour. But they are extremely vulnerable to if you walked over and stabbed them, they would almost certainly die. Okay, so I started the combat with 6 goblins. 1 was murdered mercilessly by Osgood after a lot of back and forth. A witty repartee by goblin standards. 3 of them have just been conked unconscious by Davina. 2 remain, one of them barely staggering on their feet, having taken crossbow bolt and mental damage. But the hobgoblin, it puts on a brave face and says, "I'm not impressed." Davina, if it's the end of your turn, I think it'll be Osgood's turn next.
Yes, except first I'd like to roll a d6 and give myself.
Do you get temporary hit points from your own Twilight thing?
Do indeed, because it says it.
She's in the sphere.
Yep.
You're in your own sphere.
So I have 5 temporary hit points.
All right, Osgood.
Okay.
I look over my shoulder at Buffy and nope, I can't. Sorry. I have to kill this guy. And I turn back to this guy and I attack him.
All right. Now, a hobgoblin is a much more menacing looking creature than just a goblin, Osgood. He's probably a solid head higher than you. He's got armor. He's intimidating looking, and you rolled a
19.
19.
Yeah.
It's a hobgoblin. Roll damage. I don't know if you're doing some kind of smite thingy.
I am. I'm pumping Divine Smite in, which just does 2d8 radiant damage, which, that's not nothing. 9 piercing plus 8 radiant.
Wow. The 9 piercing plus 8 radiant is 17 damage.
Yep.
The hobgoblin goes down. He's wheezing for breath. His armor, you've crushed in the front plate of his armor. And the other 2 goblins that are still alive just immediately drop their swords and put their hands up.
Great. I would like to go over to Buffy. If we're out of combat, I would lay on hands now.
All right. So you have amazingly snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. I really was worried these goblins were going to murder you, but you put half of them to sleep, and then Osgood lopped off the head of the organization. And hobgoblin organization, very top heavy. A lot of focus on the leadership without a strong central figure to bully them all. They're really just, their heart is not in it. And so next time we will find out what has happened here at Havel's Cross. What have these goblins been up to, and how does it affect Professor Winsome Landy's ever so important study of ancient civilizations from long gone by? Next time on Total Party Kill.